Hello, hello, welcome back to Minagoroshi. The last episode was a doozy. Satoko's been saved, Tepe has been arrested, things are looking up. Hello train, I'm totally stoked that you passed as soon as I started recording. It's always a good sign. Um, but yeah, it's Watanadashi time. Still kind of surprised this chapter's still going because it's almost been 2 hours, so maybe it'll be a shorter episode, or maybe it's just gonna be the long haul. Because even though we solved the Satoko problem, which is definitely like half the problem, I guess. Because half the problem is one of our friends going crazy and killing people, right? So the fact that Satoko save stops that and saves Satoko, which is part of the goal to reach happiness. Um, but we need to keep Rika alive, and Tomataki and Takano's thing, right? Takano, every art she dies, according to the police, 24 hours beforehand. Now, and we saw her, so we basically saw her as a walking corpse. Now I know you're like, Aiden, we know the crispy Takano theory. Why do you believe the police on the report? Because it's just, I believe it because it's just not Oishi. It's like a lot of people, like forensic experts and stuff. So obviously, if it was Oishi, he would probably know how to delay the time of death of a corpse to make it look like something. But yeah, to me, it still seems like it's Takano hiding her body or hiding her death from her own volition. But I guess technically it's impossible for Oishi. But basically, we need to keep our eyes on the ball. Friends are happy. Rika's still in trouble, though. We have the mountain gods, but I don't care, obviously. I think I'm interested, because I wonder if Rita has a plan, because Tomataki is the center of it, right? Because he actually does die, so I'm wondering if Rita's gonna stake him out, make sure he doesn't die. That seems like the most obvious choice. And yeah, we'll see. It's just looking a little grim because we spent all our time. It's like Sumi Horoboshi. You spend all your time saving your friends, but we don't make any prep for the actual killer. So, and like I said, we've been waiting, Akasaka, dude. Our knight in shining armor. What if Rita's being assaulted by the killer, then Akasaka just pops out of nowhere and stops Oishi or Takano, who I still think are the killer. So yeah, I mean, let's just see what happens at the Watanadashi. I don't know if this is the last chapter. I mean, they might push it hard, but I feel like it also just might be because I don't think Rita doesn't die at the Watanadashi. She's never died after Watanadashi. It's always a couple days ago. It's more the question of, will Tomataki die? And another thing, I guess, is Takano and Tomataki didn't sneak into the storehouse. So technically you can't really blame them for that. But honestly, in my theories for most of the time, I never really believed that to be the reason for that. It could be, but it doesn't really match a motive, any motive I can think of for Takano and Oishi, besides the fact that they know he's snuck in, so they can what's the word? Disguise, give themselves an alibi to pin the murder on. But I don't know. Let's just continue. Everyone's happy. I just hope Rita has a plan. That's all I'm really hoping for. So yeah. This is the after the chapter break, but we kind of skipped forward with no text. But next day we're in the meeting spot. I think. Oh wait, well maybe not Mion and Ren are with us, but whatever. Satoto and Rita-chan were already waiting for me. While the injuries on her face, covered with band-aids, looked painful, Satoko seemed to be full of life. It almost looked as though her wounds from playing too hard or something.
Yeah.
私は全然平気ですのよって言ったんですけど、監督たちが一晩様子を見たいなんておっしゃりますもので。
お医者さんがそうしろって言うんだから、素直に従った方がいいと思うけどな。
Okay. So I did remember, right? Mian and Renna rode with us, and then we met Rika and Satoko.
診療所で一人でお泊まりするのが怖かったんでしょう。
I'd be scared of the clinic alone, to be honest. I guess not anymore now that we know what it is.
夜の診療所には成仏してない霊がいっぱいいるそうだからね。
Honestly, I believe that. Lots of people die at hospitals, what can I say?
サトコは僕と一緒でないと眠れない体になってしまったのですよ。どうして一緒じゃないと眠れないのかな
それはですね、一人だと怖い夢を見てとんでもない寝言を。
I believe it. No sooner had Shion finished that sentence, a bucket went flying into her face. Yes, we all know Satoko can just conjure buckets and stuff out of thin air. To be honest, it's the power of the trap god. Satoko started chasing Shion in circles like they were playing tag. I really missed this rambunctious fun.
こんな当たり前の風景がもう取り戻せないかもしれないって思ってた。
そうだな。でもな、取り返したぜ。俺たちでな。
主に頑張ったのはケイチだと思いますですよ。
Oh yeah, Keiichi definitely pulled his weight in gold.
ケイチが相談所に訴えようと自分で言い出して、ケイチがみんなで押しかけようと言ってみんなに声をかけたのです。
そうだね。ケイちゃんが最大の功労者であるのは私も認めるよ。今回の一件でひなみ沢に前原圭一ありってのはだいぶ知れ渡ったと思うからね。
Yeah.
ケイチくん、有名になってモテモテになっちゃうのかな
そりゃあモテモテになるね。婦人会のおばさま方にチヤホヤされちゃうよ。
Hell yeah.
いいよ、モテる男はつらいね。
I'd be fine with that if I could divide their ages by 3. By 3, yeah. I guess that made sense. Many people were wearing yukatas. It was still June, but it felt more like the middle of summer. Once we finished climbing the stairs, we could see the festival and the crowd enjoying it. I like how we're getting Keiichi POV, so we can't actually tell if Rika has a plan or not. We don't get her POV at all. Which keeps the suspense up, I guess. The Furude shrine was packed with people, leaving the grounds looking nothing like their usual quiet self. Lanterns of various colors were hung about, and people were swarming the various festival booths, giving the whole place an unorganized yet pleasant atmosphere.
すげえ人だな。ひなみ沢ってこんなに人がいたんだ。
Surprised they actually got it set up in time with all the protest prep.
綿流しのお祭りはみんな来るよ。多分ひなみ沢の人の半分くらいは来てるんじゃないかな。
それだけじゃないよ。
Yep.
近隣の町の町会や子供会も招待してる。
You've heard these exact lines before.
俺たちの学校、あれしか生徒いないのに、今日は子供の姿がやたらたくさんある。
I'm pretty sure somewhere. Sounds
お
extremely
祭りの賑
familiar.
やかさはやっぱり子供の賑やかさだからね。
She's right. I'm in agreement there. There were lots of booths around too, and they were by far the best part of the festival. Booths selling takoyaki, yakisoba, shaved ice, apricot candy, sauce senbei, chocolate bananas. There was a yo-yo game, a goldfish game, a shooting gallery. There were countless booths here.
露天商は町からわざわざ来てくれてるんだよ。やっぱりこういうのがないとお祭りは盛り上がらないよね。
で、それを俺たちは荒らして回るわけか。
I see the chocolate bananas.
どんな勝負にせよ、俺は負けないぜ。
そうだね。頑張ろう。
遅れて申し
Shion.
訳ないです。私がビリでした？ならこれで全員揃いましたね。
I'm surprised Rika and Satoto met us, because Rika usually comes with her her Shrine Maiden outfit on normally, right? That's different, I think.
このメンバーが揃うとのんびりお祭りを楽しもうということにはなりませんのね。
そりゃそうだよ。今年も行くよ。綿流し祭。6人か。
The Sits Demon
六
thing.
強爆投。
Forgot the OG title. It's like Demon thing. It's not Demon thing, but Demon Fire Challenge. Yeah, she's in her normal outfit, not her shrine outfit. It's interesting.
今年は気兼ねしないで思いっきり楽しみましょうなのです。
Rika, are you really this lax, though? Maybe she just doesn't think Tomotaki will die because she let Tatano and Tomotaki in the shrine of their own free will, right?
頼まれなくても気兼ねなどしませんわ。大暴れさせていただきますのよ。
よっしゃ、サトコ。その息だぜ。
You go, girl.
昨日までのことなんか今夜で吹き飛ばしちゃいましょう。
今日はみんなで思いっきり遊ぼう。全員が揃うなんて1週間ぶりだもんね。
そうさそうさ。今夜は全員で祭りを遊び倒すよ。
Hey, Rika view. Interesting. This is what I want to see. Okay. We got the targets in our sight. What is happening? Chia Irie. People getting bonked. Irie got thwacked there. Please, Rika. As we ran around frolicking, a lot of people approached the Toto. Some were concerned for her injuries, some sympathized with how she had been treated so far, and some even insisted she could rely on them if ever in need. And all of that must have been disconcertingly fresh for Satoto, who wasn't used to it. Satoto said that all the unusual kindness was making her feel uncomfortable instead, but I knew she was just being shy. Right now, this was just what it took for Satoto to be reborn, whatever. You got the message. Oishi, we got literally everyone here. Let's just stay in one big group and all, I don't know, all sleep in one house together and we'll be fine. Yo! You missed the party, Akasaka. Okay, Akasaka's back. Let's see, I don't know. I don't know what we would see. I'm sure Oishi is actually patrolling the curse murder, and I bet Akasaka is probably here to patrol with him, so that might be a good thing. His net still looks weird, but I respect you, Akasaka. I like the jacket. Had fun on your vacation.
どちら様でございますのかしら。リカの知り合いですの？
He's my bro.
赤坂は肝心な時にいなくて使えないのです。
It's a true statement, but he's here now, where we might need him the most.
なんだろう。私怒らせるようなことしましたか。
He did miss joining the Satoto Alliance.
実はですね、赤坂さんが温泉へ行かれているほんの1週間ほどの間にですね、とても大変なことがあったんです。
はあ、リカちゃん、その人っておもちゃ屋さんで会った人だよね。よね。
He's a super cop. Well, I think Oishi's a super cop, but he's a super cop that might not be an evil mastermind.
ああ、そういえば大石さんと一緒にいたね。この人も警察の関係者さん？
Honestly, I hope, when Atasaka had arrived, I believe what it took to change face was the power of influential individual, or so I thought, but it turned out that was a misunderstanding. Okay. Individuals don't make miracles, everyone must come forward to make them happen. That's why when I thought I could defeat fate as long as I had Atasaka by my side, it was all in my head. Even if he had been there by my side, we probably wouldn't have been able to do anything and would only have disappointed ourselves. I'm not saying that Atasaka was at fault, that's not the point at all. I may have considered him useless perhaps, even though I'm rather astonished by my foul-mouthedness. Let's forget about such things tonight. It's been a couple of decades, why not celebrate our reunion instead? Why is she so lax? I honestly do think she thinks Takano and Tomotaki won't die because they didn't sneak into the shed. Which is bad, and I think she's safe with the mountain odds. I honestly think a good strat would be for Rika just to stick to Atasaka like Lou. But he's gonna leave, so it's like, maybe not, I don't know. Villager! My favorite character. This guy's alright. He's not as good as the first villager, to be honest. With the sword.
そんなことしてないっす。平和に話し合いをしただけですよ。
しかし偉いな。
Man, he's even here?
みんなを率いてお役所とちゃんと交渉したんだもんな。前原のお兄ちゃん、安全雨サービスするよ。
Sutton, man, he could have stayed home.
何もいる。
Actually, that might have still been first man. I couldn't tell.
今日はモテモテだね。圭一は熟した果実がお好きに違いないのです。
Okay.
リカが何を言ってるかわかりませんが、どうせろくな意味ではありませんわね。
Keiichi got a lot of attention too wherever he went. In order to save Satoto, he took the initiative, and hence his leadership abilities were known throughout the village. Moreover, him persuading the village count on Oryu herself were now legendary tales of heroism. Everyone had understood just how much Satoto had been ostracized by the whole village, and they also had understood how unreasonable it was, and for it to continue long after the dam war was over, seeing Keiichi's effort break through the taboo so refreshing. It was a glimpse of a new future ahead for the young and the old. With that said, now Keiichi Maibara had become the hot topic amongst Hinamizawa people. Naturally, everybody wanted a glimpse of this Maibara Keiichi, and hence the bargain auction saw an unprecedented turnout. We're speed reading, dude. Even though he started off red-faced, once he got over shyness, Keiichi showed his true colors, eliciting rapturous cheers from the crowd with sheer energy and momentum. The Watanadashi of Showa 58, the day of the most special fervor that I've never been. Shit. Even after this, I'm sure Keiichi will continue to steer the village into new adventures to come. Having such a young leader has made the village elder rather reassured. I can't do it, man. I read too slow. We're dancing? Okay. Oh, man. You like my speed reading? I don't. I like to take it nice and slow, you know, emphasize my voice. Who is he? Saburo. Oh, it's the spooky one? No, Ken's the spooky one. Saburu's The nicer sounding one?
昨日は来るの
I
が
don't
遅
know.
くなってすまんかったね。相談所への道を一本間違えちゃってな。
いや、でも頼もしかったです。
I think you literally saved us.
やっぱり議員は強いですね。
住民の代わりに喧嘩をするのが仕事だからな。強くて当然だわい。
さとこちゃんも無事で本当に良かった。これからは何かあったらいつでも相談してください。必ず味方になりますよ。
They rubbed Satoto's head while they spoke.
ありが
She's
とうござい
getting
ます
rubbed.
ですわ。
It's a happy Satoko when you rub her. Here goes. Back in the main tent, having been last rushed in were the many influential Sonozakis. They were all folk became indebted yesterday, except Satoko. Everyone bowed their heads. Until just a few days ago, everyone present was someone who could have bad-mouthing the Hojo family. But Keiichi had broken through all that, having reflected upon their thoughtless insensitivities. I doubt any of these people would discriminate against Satoko again. In fact, they bowed their heads, apologized for their actions, and promised their assistance if anything were to come up in the future. You know what I just realized? I didn't realize because I was so absorbed. They skipped the auction, dude. The auction was so hyped up. I was ready to see some classic Keiichi Maibara. Keiichi from Watanadashi selling some sick stuff, you know? Unlucky. But it's alright. This chapter's been hype enough, I guess. Keiichi's dad. Doesn't he like always sleep during the Watanadashi? Or stay home with the mom? The first time for everything.
ケイイチ君のご両親だ。こんばんは。はじめましてなのです。
Oh, I guess we weren't dancing. The red stage was just for Keiichi's auction.
ケイイチのニャーニャーをしております。リカなのです。
I'm Keiichi's meow meow.
どうもはじめましてですわ。北条聡子と申します。
あなたがさとこちゃんね。こんなにひどい怪我をして本当にかわいそうに。
今後も何かあったらケイイチをぜひこき使ってやってください。
Huh.
それと引き換えと言ってはなんですが。
Yeah?
どうですかお嬢さん。ぜひ今度。
なんだか監督と近い属性を感じるお父様ですわね。
Apparently, a bit more than I thought he was.
すまん。こういう親父なんだ。
でも温かくて楽しそうなお父様でしたよ。
Keiichi's parents wrote us at the festival. They were made quite a fuss of having such a magnificent son being prince of today's big hero. According to Keiichi, since his parents rarely left the house from being busy, this was a good chance for them to interact with the villagers. Keiichi's father had proudly volunteered to make posters for the town council if need ever arose. I heard from Keiichi the posters his father makes are so good that people steal them. I look forward to seeing just what kind of posters they are.
こんな楽しい綿流しのお祭りは僕も初めて見ますのです。
Hello, Hanyu.
そうね。私も初めてよ。
How are you guys not worried? I already answered that question. I'm worried, but like, I can see why they're not worried. I think they think they solved everything, but the thing is, the person who kills Rika is still out there, right?
というか、あんたの方が長生きしてるんだもん。
So it's like,
あんたが初めてなら、私にとっても初めてに決まってるじゃない？
what, Hanyu? You don't like the old Watchnadashi festivals? I heard those were pretty fun.
でもきっと綿流しという名前のお祭りになってからの中でも一番賑やかで楽しいお祭りだと思いますのです。
そもそも綿流しのお祭りが楽しいお祭りになったのは明治以降は退屈な古出家の儀式だし、それ以前は鷹の好みのお祭りだったはず。
ごめん。今日は意地悪はなしね。楽しみましょう。私たちも。私とあなたを祀る夜なんだから。
I heard Hanyu whisper in disbelief that only recently there's a world where Shion tortures Satoto to death. That horrific world, this happy ending, it's all the same Hinamizawa. I'm sure that people only know this world believe unwaveringly that Hinamizawa was destined to have a happy ending. Only Hanyu and I know, only the bystanders know, that here in Hinamizawa, beyond a membrane so thin that it was even thinner than a goldfish net, which is why I'm certain that we understand better than anybody else just how much of a blessing this world is. If Keiichi and the others gave in to their temper without fighting side by side, this day would never come. If Keiichi lost his temper, he would have committed a crime today. That same goes for Shion. She would be a criminal by today. In Renner's case, she would have already be 3 moves ahead and would have already finished a burial by now. Only Mion never blew her fuse. I'm not sure whether to call it prudent or cowardly. Oops, that's uncalled for. Of course, there was actually a world where I lost it. I ended up getting myself killed. How hopeless. Anyway, none of those words were any good. We weren't able to take back our happy world. So I'd given up hope, but nobody else had. We all united to bring about the miracle that needed to happen. A miracle happened because everyone united. This might come across as something, but I don't think there would be a miracle even if I just given up and denied unity. During that last 12, if I hadn't taken away the phone receiver from Keiichi, I don't think Satoto would have sought our help. That's it, the miracle that couldn't have happened without everyone coming together, the miracle that wouldn't have happened if even one of us had given up. It's thanks to Keiichi you taught me how easy it is to break through fate, I who had given up from the outset. If everything is fate, and there's a meaning to Keiichi's existence, just what is it telling me? I already knew the meaning of resisting fate, and the means to fight it. Never again will I give in to fate, not once more. The mere opposite of Hanyu told me not to hold any expectations for anything. Even Hanyu must be able to cause some sort of miracle if she believed without giving up. So I tried telling her, but she's stubborn at the oddest times and evaded me with a simple awu awu. We're wrapping it up early. I'm down for an early day. Okay, so that's definitely not the last chapter. A faded notebook. Interesting. We even skipped a tip last time. But it's interesting. We got this, which I don't know what this means. This was to somebody's granddaughter. Technically could be Mion, I guess. But not really. I was thinking it might actually just be Takano. Since it's so short, we might just revisit that first. Because these actually don't matter. These don't matter at all, I think. Most of these just highlight the actual story. This actually feels like a real clue, so let's go over this. If you remember what I mean, because this one was weird. I'm sorry for leaving you like this. I just need you to understand I'd rather take my own life than be fearful of how many days I have left to live. That's why I'm writing this letter to you. I can't stand the fear of being unable to leave behind a will while my life is prolonged, even as I lose my consciousness. In the end, there's nothing I can leave behind for you. I was unable to leave any of my achievements to this world. I was forgotten before I was dead. I leave this world a humiliated man, knowing that I had no appreciation from anyone. Okay, this was a grandfather to granddaughter. You must do better than me. You must achieve something that your grandfather was never able to achieve. I don't mind what field you choose. You must leave your mark on this world. You must leave behind your achievements. You will eventually die someday. You will eventually turn to ashes. As a human being, that's your inevitable fate. But if you achieve a great success, you will live forever, even after you depart. Those who live beyond their deaths are called gods. I wish to become one, but I was unable to do so. So in my place, you must become a god someday. What kind of note is that? See, that doesn't match to anyone we know. Could be Rita, but we literally know nothing about her grandfather, and why wouldn't a Furude have achievements? So it can't be Mion. It just doesn't sound right. It can't be Rena. We don't know anything about Rena. I don't think it's Satoko, so you know, I'm just going down a chat list. It's either Rina. It's not Rina, let's be honest. So the real answer is only Chia and Takano, which means it has to be Takano, right? I'm not saying Takano's a mastermind. I'm saying this is probably... I mean, it's probably just pointing to Takano, honestly. The fact that she fates her death is just too much. Unless... I'm sure it's not explained that, so... It might surprise me. If she fates her death for a non-mastermind reason, that would be the day. But yeah, isn't this just Takano? And what was my explanation? I had a pretty good explanation. If it was Takano, it kind of made sense with their motive. Because we've seen the future. Like in Sumi Horoboshi, people were like whispering about her, how she like knew the future or whatever. She like was onto the conspiracy about aliens or whatever. So people were like talking about her. And if she did do the murders, they were talking about her murders for the future. So she technically became Oyashiro-sama. I don't know. Is that a good idea? Feels pretty good to me. I just wanted to revisit that because, like I said, that's such a weird hint compared to all of these which are actually, like, story-related. This one's just so out there, right? Let's see what this one is, because it sounds like a callback to me. I think it sounds like a callback. Watch therefore, for ye know now what hour your Lord doth come. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched, and would not have suffered his house to be broken upon. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, for the Son of Man cometh. Even God doesn't know when he will descend once more. He is constantly prepared for that day to come. Have faith in your God at all times. Your God doesn't know when he'll see the light. Do not spare any effort. Study hard every day. Have the passion for discovery. You never know when you will be rewarded, but that day will come for sure. Until then, you must let the fires of your passion burn bright. Hifumi Takano? Takano? Dude. It's Takano, right? Unless this is just a freaking... I still love the idea that it could be both Takano and Oishi, by the way. Because it just makes more... I don't know. There's so many... Because in this art, there's so many clues pointing away from Oishi. And just... I'm not going to say pointing towards Takano, because besides these hints, which are obviously to Takano, I think that's the only logical explanation. Unless it's to Hanyu, which literally does not make sense. That's the only other female. But what I'm trying to say is, because they've been pushing Oishi away, even though there hasn't been hints in this story pointing to Takano, it's like just because they're pushing Oishi away, that makes Takano more suspicious. Plus we're getting these hints. Isn't it just Takano? And don't we kind of have a motivation in this, though it's a very lofty motivation. Like a very, very loose one. I don't know, I think we're zooming in. And I just can't wait for the, I don't know if it would be next chapter, but the end chapter with the reveal and it's not Takano and it was Oishi, and I'm just getting so baited. I can't help it, dude. It feels like I'm being baited. Because in the actual story, there's no indication of it being Takano, this arc. Like, nothing really suspicious has happened with Takano. Because we haven't focused on her besides the beginning. I don't know. It's my detective heart, alright? Which, I mean, definitely isn't right all the time because is wrong for a lot of the theories, but I'm kind of feeling it. I don't know. I wouldn't be, I mean, I've already said I wouldn't be surprised if it's Takano, because it can only be Takano and Oishi. It's pushing Takano so hard, though. I think I can either say it's Takano, or it's Takano and Oishi, but they're not working together. They're working separately. I wish I have already said was probably the thing. I don't know. My mind's spinning, dude. Anyways, I know it's a shorter episode. You got a long one. Give me a break. It's Christmas week, you know? Have fun, chill. You're gonna get your next episode on Christmas Day? Christmas on a Friday. What kind of year is this? This is such a scuffed year, dude. Where's my whatever. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I know you're getting excited. I'm excited. Whether it's Oishi or Takano. There's just no way it's anyone else. I will keep saying that. There's just no way. It doesn't make sense. If it's Irie, I will be... My mind will break, but I won't have a heart attack. But if it's anyone but Takano, Oishi, and Irie, I will probably just die of a heart attack. It doesn't make sense to me. Plus, we're getting Takano hints, which have to be Takano. His name had a T for the last name. You're telling me that's not Takano. That's obviously Takano. Anyways. I'm rambling because my adrenaline has been pumped and the chapter has ended. And I'm not going to start the new one. Anyways, yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Looks like we're done with the Watchanagashi. Maybe we'll still be in the Watchanagashi because we didn't see Rika's dance or anything. But like, I also think we might just be done. And we'll see. We'll see if Tomodachi dies. If Tomodachi doesn't die, then this will be super, super interesting. Because the game would change a lot. We're in the end game. And usually the end game is Tomodachi and Takano are dead. But if they're both not dead, then that will be fun. But you're gonna have to wait till next chapter. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you later. Woo! Go Hinamizawa!